excited for you to meet our guest today. So go ahead, introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, tell us what you're all about.
Hi, my name is Darlene Oliver. I'm located in Southern California, and I'm all about helping people, especially women and moms, to start businesses, especially from home in these days. And that's what I'm all about.
So tell us what got you started in that.
Oh my gosh, this was a long time ago. I have spent my entire life wanting to be an entrepreneur. And I spent years helping executives, but doubting my ability to do it for myself. It wasn't until I hit a rock bottom moment 10 years ago, no, more like 15, where I lost my job. I ended up losing my home. I ended up in a life altering car accident, lost everything. And that's when I made the decision to start a business, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Wow, it sounds like you went through a lot, but that's interesting that it propelled you into doing this next chapter business. Tell us more about that.
Well, I think we all go through a lot of self doubt, and I think that's what stops most entrepreneurs from being successful. And what struck me most at that moment in time when I thought everything was lost and I wasn't going to be able to get it back, I had the support of family, and I had a dream for my children, and that just wouldn't let me let go of my own.
Hi, my name is Justin Clark, and I'm the president of the board of directors for Driving Single Parents, a 501c3 nonprofit serving the citizens of San Antonio and Bexar County, Texas. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the great work that our organization is doing for the citizens of San Antonio. What you're about to see is just a few photos and videos of the way that we're changing lives for single parents in and around San Antonio, Texas. Our first giveaway took place in April of 2017, just one short month after the formation of our organization. John, a Bexar County resident, was the victim of a horrible drunk driver incident. He and his daughter survived the crash, and we were so proud to give our first car to this deserving family. Fast forward to 2020, a very difficult year for nonprofits. We were able to secure 4 vehicles for single parents in need. Our organization, including our board of directors, list of partners, and portfolio of people we've been able to help in San Antonio, continues to grow, and it's all thanks to donors and local community organizations that have helped us along the way. This giveaway took place in 2021 and shows that we continue to help single parents even after the struggles brought about by COVID-19. Because of limited funds and the overwhelming need, we at Driving Single Parents are incredibly selective with the people we help. Some are victims of domestic violence. Others had a spouse pass away tragically or otherwise fell on hard times. These single parents show adversity in the face of challenge and aren't looking for a handout. We offer a hand up and help get them back in the driver's seat. Many of the single parents we help go on to graduate college, get promotions, get married, mentor others, and some have even been so touched by the gift we gave them that they have decided to join our board of directors to pay it forward and ensure the continued growth of our organization. If you would like to help our organization continue to grow and continue to help single parents in need in San Antonio, Texas, and Bexar County, Texas, we would really appreciate your support. Please visit us online at www.drivingsingleparents.org. Thank you.
Yeah. So then you pushed through that self-doubt and you were able to get started. What was the first step you took in starting out this new journey?
Well, I actually did it with my twin sister, as funny as that sounds. She was out of work at the time too, and she brought the idea up. And at first I scoffed at it. I'd hit rock bottom. I had no confidence left at all after all of that. And I really told her no to start with. And it wasn't until I thought about it and thought about how that lack of confidence had passed on to my children, that I decided I had to do something. And so we both did it together, and it was with her support, and us being able to work together that we were able to make it successful. Over the next 10, 15 years, I was able to adapt and diversify and pick up other offerings. And that really made all the difference.
Awesome. So tell us how you add so much value to your clients.
I believe that being an entrepreneur is about service. And if you're serving clients and you're serving them well, that's what makes the difference between failure and success. Customers know what they want, they know what they need, and you need to be able to fulfill those needs if you want to be successful.
Yeah, truly. So you basically, somebody comes to you and says, I have an idea for a business, or is it existing businesses that you really help with?
Both, actually. And I believe that if you want to be successful, you actually have to follow a process, and you actually have to put some key ingredients into that. I believe that you have to start with expertise, because if you're not the expert, you're going to run into challenges you can't solve. You're going to lose your confidence because you're not able to solve those problems. Your customers are definitely going to see that you're not able to do that, and they're going to lose confidence in you too. So without that expertise, you are starting off with nothing. You have to learn from scratch. And that's really not the way to go when you're starting a business. You have enough problems that you're going to have to solve without creating your own. I also believe that you have to put your emotions into this. If you're not meeting your own needs and the reason that you started it, then you're going to fail in the long run because you're not getting what you wanted out of it. And then if you're not considering earnings and being able to offer something that makes you good money, then you're not really succeeding in being an entrepreneur, because you're trying to work less, not harder. You're trying to make more money, not less. And it really is all about putting those three key ingredients together.
Absolutely. What is one of the big mistakes you see a business make?
Not doing the research to start with, not considering those things that you're expert at, and trying to start off with a cookie cutter business that you don't have any skills in. And I think possibly too, not having a plan. If you don't put a plan in place, you're not ready when the challenges do hit. So you're not able to solve them in a timely manner. So I think those things are key.
So really, is it a lot of people just saying, well, I'm going to start this business, I think it's going to make money, and that's why I'm going to do it, and not really doing the deep dive into like that they're passionate about it, that it's something they're really excited about, that it's not already being done by a million other businesses? Is that what you're referring to?
I think it's a lot of that. I think we see a lot of things on the news, on YouTube, people talking about these great opportunities, and we don't put the research in to see, are those great opportunities, and are they great opportunities for us before we start venturing into them? And that's a waste of time. You really have to do the research first.
Yeah. And is it a great opportunity for you and what you're working towards? Or are you actually creating an opportunity for somebody else who's going to capitalize on your thought of having this dream business, right?
Exactly. And you want to be the best person offering this, to have the best offer, to be able to beat your competition. So really, it's all about research.
Hi, my name is Andrew Fraley, and I believe that sometimes we all need a little bit of help. If you're in the San Antonio community and you need some legal help, call me at 210-725-4658.
Yes. So let's say somebody comes to you and says, hey, I have this business. I started it. It's not doing very well. What's the first step of what you would do to try to help them get it back onto target?
Well, if you're not doing well, it's either the pricing, the offer, or it's your message. All of the key things that it could be wrong with it comes from not doing your research. I'd say go back and check and see what things you missed when you were doing the research to begin with. Figure out where you're missing. I mean, you can go back and check feedback with clients and find out what is it that they would want you to change. What is it that you're not offering that they want? Where are you going wrong, and how can you improve those things?
Absolutely. That makes so much sense. What is your stance on marketing?
Oh my gosh, marketing is key. You can't build a business and expect your customers to just show up without marketing. And nowadays that's adapted so much. It has to be online, it has to be offline, it has to be in your community, depending on what kind of business you have and who you're serving.
Absolutely. I always tell people, without marketing, it's almost like if you had your business out in the middle of the woods off some dirt road that you couldn't find unless you had a perfect map, You have to have the marketing to show people how to get to your location, what you do, and what you're all about.
Right. And what's so special about what you're selling? Because the
Absolutely. So is
competition
marketing,
is fierce.
the competition is fierce. Yes.
Fierce.
So is marketing one of the aspects that you offer?
I don't work with marketing. No, I just help people to get started.
I see. So you get them started and then they can take that and use it with marketing to kind of push it out there to the market. Is that right?
Yes, and I'm kind of adapting now. I'm in the process of building a community because I think that the best thing for people that are starting businesses is to do it together with other people. It helps to build your confidence. You learn from others. They learn from you. It's just a big asset if you have a community around you to support you. So I'm working on building a community and a course that'll walk people through it in 12 weeks.
I think that's so necessary. You know, we're humans. We're not meant to do this life alone. So connection is a key component in everything we do, including business.
Yes.
So love
And
that.
you don't know
love
what
that.
you don't know.
Exactly. And shared experiences can really help push you further faster than you can just trying to figure it out on your own. So
Absolutely.
great idea to do that. What about books? I think I heard somewhere that maybe you're an author. Could it be?
I am. I actually have a couple. When I first got started, I started off with a book about working at home, real work at home opportunities. And a few years in, where I'd learned more and I've tried out more things, I actually ended up offering 15 different services. So I wrote another book. You know, I thought the biggest thing for me when I first started out was knowing the basics so I could figure out which opportunities were good for me, and then knowing where to go and find customers. And so in the book, I detailed lots of different opportunities and gave my take on how I would get started, what basics you need to know, and then a list of websites where you can go and sign up to get work or where you can go to advertise your services. So it's not a complete book. I mean, you're going to have to do your research. You're going to have to do the work. But I give you the basics to get started. And then the newest book is Dare to Dream Big. And in that, I just share a little bit about my story. And I and co-authored with a bunch of other women. There's 7 of us all together. And we all tell our stories and share some key fundamental facts about how we got where we are, and we gave tips to help people. So I hope that people will get that book and get inspired.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, a dare to dream big. That's something that everybody should be able to do is just dream big and
Absolutely.
accomplish all the goals they want to. I also really like your work from home book. That's really great because I can't tell you how many people reach out to me on the daily basis asking me, do you have any work from home positions? And that's just something that people desire deeply these days and need, you know, with the cost of childcare and the commute
Yes.
time and all the things, working from home can be a huge asset. So what gave you the idea to like start this book about working from home?
Well, I knew that when I got started, that was my thing. I went online, did a lot of research. You get to blogs, they'll talk about these different opportunities, but you're left with questions. And so I wanted to try to answer those basic questions so that people would explore further into the different opportunities and find one that actually works for them.
Yeah, I think that's incredible because there are, just like we talked about with businesses, there's so many people out there trying to capitalize on what you're doing, trying to take your money to make you better, and then it doesn't work. I think the same thing applies to work from home jobs. There's so many scams out there. Is that something you came across whenever you were doing the research for your book?
Oh, absolutely. And plus, hearing about opportunities and like, for instance, you see them talking about, oh, bookkeeping, start a bookkeeping business. You can make $75 an hour. But actually, you don't make $75 an hour in the beginning. You have to have experience. And if you don't know bookkeeping and the key facts that you need to know for that type of work, then you're not going to be successful. It's going to take time to learn. And I really think people need to consider those things when they hear about opportunities.
Absolutely. And then again, like you said so many times in this interview, it's like, do your research for yourself.
Yes,
Look
the
into
research
it.
is key.
Yes, don't just take people's word for it because that's how you end up in situations to where you lose money or get scammed or waste your time on something where you don't get paid. So I love that.
Exactly.
I'm going to switch up to my little give questions now. Can you give the audience an example of a little thing that they can do in their community that might just be a little give on their end, but might make a big impact on the other side?
Oh gosh, just like with me writing this book, the whole point was to share what I know. So share what you know with other people. We have to work together to help each other. And a lot of us know things that could help the person next to us. So share what you know.
That's such a great example, because there's so many times where, instead of you spending the hours it takes to research something, there could be somebody who just says, oh, I know a quick way to do that. And it just really helps
Yes.
move the needle quicker. I love that example. Can you give the audience an example of a time in your life where somebody did something little for you that might have just been a little give on their end, but really made an impact on you and in your life?
Oh gosh, I'd have to say that was my twin sister when she goaded me to start that home-based business. She could have just done it on her own. She didn't have to try to talk me into it and support me along the way, but she knew I needed it. So that was mine.
Shout out to your sister then. That's amazing. You just never know what you're going to say or do for somebody else that's really going to make that big impact in their life. So that's
Yes.
incredible. What about nonprofits? Are there any nonprofits that you're excited about?
Oh, absolutely. I am a big fan of Lee Dundas, who has advocates for citizens' rights. She helps trafficked children, and she's a big human rights protector.
Oh, I love that. Love that. Okay, so tell us how you got to know this nonprofit and what it's all about.
Oh gosh, it was a couple years ago, and I was approached by someone about being a bookkeeper for them, and this was her. And when I met her, I've been a fan ever since.
Yeah. So do you know what got her started on this mission?
Oh gosh, she's been doing this for decades. She actually worked with Congress to help children who were being trafficked in other countries. So she's got a whole history. You can see it all on her website. She even has videos of some of her work. Her whole story is there. I urge everyone to go check it out. She is a big inspiration to me.
Thank you so much for sharing this nonprofit with us today. Why don't you tell the audience where they can learn more about you? They can get in touch. Maybe they can go grab those books.
Oh, absolutely. Go to my website. It's bizlaunchandgrow.com. Make sure that you go there and get the freebie that I have for you. I know it's really hard when you're getting started to figure out a path. And I put those 3 ingredients together for you: expertise, emotions, and earnings, and broken it down so that you can figure out your first steps. So be sure to get your freebie and check out my website and connect to me. And if you do that, you'll also be notified when I launch the new community and given the first opportunity to join.
Awesome. Well, everybody who's out there watching, she told you exactly where to find her, get those books, learn more about all she does. Also, that nonprofit she featured, it might be something you're passionate about. Go to their website, find out more. And if it's something that you really want to get involved in, go make a donation. $1 or $5 multiplied by our large viewership can really make a huge impact to these nonprofits. So thank you all so much for watching. And thank you, Darlene, for being on today. I really enjoy it. And we'll see you all next week. If you enjoyed this episode of Little Give, head on over to our website at littlegive.com. You'll be able to find all the information about previous episodes and past guests that we've had on. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on Little Give, all the information is also on the website. And if you have a nonprofit that you love and would like to recommend be on the show, all of that information is also on the website. We really appreciate you watching today, and we can't wait to see you again next week.